If you've felt like your style has been a little off this year, it's probably not your taste. And it's not that you suddenly forgot how to dress. Most of the time, it's the habits behind the clothes, the tiny routines, the quiet assumptions, the shortcuts we take when we're tired, rushed, or bored. As we step into 2026, I want to share the shifts that genuinely changed the way I get dressed. Not dramatic reinventions, not a whole new personality, just mindset upgrades, mistakes I stopped repeating, and small practical tweaks that made a bigger difference than I expected. And yes, today I'm also wearing a few of my current favorites from Ideal. I'll show them to you properly in a bit. But first, let's start with the mindset shift that changed the game for me, because it explains so much about why getting dressed can feel hard even when your wardrobe is fine. The biggest shift was realizing there is no such thing as effortless style. We love saying it. We love hearing it. Her style is effortless. That outfit is effortless. But what we're actually seeing online is the final result, not the messy middle. You're not seeing the 10 outfits she tried on first that didn't quite work. You're not seeing the years it took to understand her body, her preferences, her comfort zone, and her lifestyle. You're not seeing the bad shopping habits she had to unlearn, the hours spent searching for the right jeans, the tailoring appointment that made the piece fit like it was made for her. And when you look at a celebrity who seems perfectly styled all the time, you're rarely seeing just one person with magical taste. You're seeing a whole team, a stylist, fittings, alterations, planning, and access. It's worth remembering this, because the comparison game is brutal when you're only comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Good style takes time, effort, and practice. The good news is, you get better every time you try. Even when you miss, you're collecting data. You're learning what doesn't work, which is just as valuable as what does. Now let's get practical, because one of the most overlooked style upgrades has nothing to do with your outer layers. The right bra and underwear are just as important as the clothes. Your base layers should work with your outfit, not against it. I'm going to say it plainly because it matters. Visible panty lines can ruin the clean look of even the most beautiful trousers. It's one of those things you can't unsee once you notice it, and it makes an outfit look accidental, even when everything else is polished. Seam-free underwear, smooth t-shirt, bras, base layers that disappear under fitted pieces. These are quiet upgrades that instantly make the outfit look more intentional. At the same time, I'm not against underwear showing if it's clearly on purpose. A lace bralette peeking out, a pretty strap that's meant to be seen, that can be a styling choice. The key is intention. Deliberate looks chic. Accidental looks like you got dressed in the dark. Another mindset shift that took so much pressure off me is this. The number on the tag is just a guide, not a judgment. Sizing is wildly inconsistent across brands and sometimes even within the same brand. You can try 2 pairs of trousers from the same store in the same size, and one will fit perfectly while the other makes you question everything. That's not your body failing. That's the cut, the fabric, the rise, the pattern, the inconsistency. I used to believe that because I'm petite, I should automatically fit into a smaller size, and if I didn't, something must be wrong with me. That kind of thinking makes getting dressed feel like a daily test you can fail. It's exhausting. What changed for me was treating sizing like a tool. When I'm trying a new brand or a new cut, I grab 2 or 3 sizes immediately. I let the garment prove itself. Then I choose the one that fits my proportions and creates the silhouette I'm looking for. No drama, no shame, no spiral. That one habit alone made getting dressed feel lighter. Here's another shift that sounds simple, but it's genuinely powerful. Stop waiting for the right occasion to wear your favorite pieces. Wear them now. We save our best things for some imaginary perfect moment, some dinner, some holiday, some event that may or may not happen. But your everyday life is not a placeholder. Your daily routine is your real life. If a piece makes you feel like the best version of yourself, that is the occasion. That is the reason. It's the same idea as that quote about lighting your favorite candles and wearing your favorite perfume. Why let it sit there collecting dust? That's also how I feel about jewelry. Jewelry can make your most normal day feel slightly more special. Not in a flashy way, but in a quiet, personal way. And this is where Ideal fits perfectly into that philosophy for me. I've worn Ideal for years, and if I had to pick one piece that feels like me, it would be the Leah. It's a pear diamond that floats delicately below the ear, and what I love is that it feels unique without feeling loud. It works for everyday looks because it's subtle, but still special. It also layers beautifully with other pieces, which is kind of the whole point of Ideal's concept. Their idea is that you build your own collection using studs, then you add on different elements to mix and match. So beside the Leah, I also love the Uma, which has this elegant teardrop shape. And when it's party season, or I want something bolder, I'll add in a playful, hoop-inspired add-on like the Ono. Or I'll use the solar cuff that hooks onto a stud so it looks like you have an extra piercing. The little chain detail with diamonds is genuinely fun. It adds movement and that unexpected touch that makes an outfit feel styled. Recently, I've also been loving an add-on called the Capri, a pear diamond that hangs below the stud from the front. It's playful, but still elegant, and it gives you that dressed-up feeling without needing a whole new outfit. They also have necklaces, and today I'm wearing the Layla. It's a classic evil eye design, but elevated with diamond detail that makes it feel more refined and luxe, not costumey. I wear my pieces in 14-karat gold, but they also offer white gold and rose gold, depending on your preference, which makes it easy to match your existing jewelry. Ideal uses lab-grown diamonds, and they're chemically identical to mined diamonds. The big difference is the environmental impact and the price. Lab-grown options are generally less damaging and more accessible, so you can get that luxury craftsmanship without the insane luxury markup. And I'll say this honestly, because people always wonder about quality. I got my first pieces 4 or 5 years ago, and they still look just as sparkly and polished as they did when they were new. The packaging is also genuinely beautiful, the kind that feels like a proper experience, not just a box. If any pieces caught your eye, I'll have them linked, and my code is Adeline10 for 10% off. Thank you again to Ideal for supporting this video and always supporting my channel. Now, back to style. Because this next lesson is one of my favorites. The best outfits usually have something unexpected. The most interesting looks tend to have a little tension in them. Something feminine with something masculine. Something sporty with something polished. Something chunky with something delicate. Even something like a winter coat with a summer bag. Contrast creates balance. It adds dimension. It stops an outfit from feeling flat or too predictable. If your outfit looks fine but feels boring, it often needs contrast, not more items. And if you feel like you have bad style, there's a good chance the real issue is simpler. You're not shopping for your lifestyle. Most people don't lack taste. They lack alignment. I felt this strongly when I stopped working in an office and started working from home. My wardrobe was built for a life that required structured trousers and crisp blouses. But my day-to-day shifted, and suddenly those clothes didn't match the rhythm of my actual life. Getting dressed felt off. Not because the pieces were ugly, but because they belonged to a different version of me. Once I started buying for my real routine, more comfortable trousers, shoes I could actually walk in, clothes that let me move freely, everything clicked. Your style improves naturally when it supports your life, not the life you used to have and not the life you think you should have. And for my petite girls, or anyone who wants a little extra height without committing to heels every day, here's a practical hack. Heel inserts. You can pop them into boots and get a couple centimeters instantly. It's small, but it can change proportions enough to make certain outfits feel better. Another habit that quietly upgrades your style is getting better at shopping pre-loved. Thrift stores, charity shops, curated vintage, online consignment, all of it. When you shop pre-loved, you're choosing outside the pressure of trends and marketing. You're not being pushed toward what's new in. You're using your own eye. You're training your instinct. You're building taste from the inside out. And I genuinely think people who thrift often develop sharper style